The story begins in 1958 in West Germany. Here we see an 18-year-old boy named Michael who is walking home when it starts raining heavily. Michael is not feeling well here, so Michael stops at the entrance of an apartment where he starts vomiting. Seeing him in this condition, a woman named Hannah comes to him who lives in the same apartment where Michael is staying, and she works as a bus conductor. Hannah cleans Michael's mouth. Then Michael starts crying. To make him feel better, Hannah hugs Michael and calms him down. Then she helps Michael to leave home. After this, Michael is having lunch with his family. Seeing Michael's condition, his father calls the doctor. After checking Michael, the doctor tells him that he has scarlet fever and he will have to rest at home for the next 9 months. After resting for 9 months, Michael gets well. He goes and tells his mother that a woman had killed him when he was sick. His mother says that you should thank her. After which, Michael comes to Hannah's house with flowers. Hannah asks him how is he now. Michael says that he is fine now. Then Michael gives her flowers and thanks her and starts to leave. Then Hannah says that she will also leave for work. So she asks Michael to wait in another room till she gets ready, and then both of them will go together. Then when Hannah is getting dressed, Michael is watching her secretly. But when Hannah sees him doing this, Michael gets embarrassed and runs away from there in fear. The next day, Michael sees Hannah giving a bus ticket. Then Michael feels that he should apologize to Hannah. So Michael comes to her house. Then Hannah comes from work and tells him that then when Michael comes to her with coal, she sees that coal ash has got on Michael's face and clothes. So she asks him to take a bath. Then Hannah takes off his clothes and seduces him. Michael also liked her and they both become close. At night, Michael is at home. Now he is having dinner with his family. Today he came home late from Hannah's house. When his father asks him, he says that he had lost his way. Next day after school, Michael comes to Hannah's house and they both spend time together. After this, Michael is lost in Hannah's thoughts. He starts waiting for school to be over. He has no interest in girls of his age. He comes to Hannah's house every day and an affair starts between the two. One day Hannah asks Michael if he is a good student in school. When he reads a book from his school bag, he starts telling her a story and Hannah likes it very much. Now she starts listening to stories from Michael every day. Actually, Hannah does not know how to read or write, but Michael does not know this. One day Michael is in the same bus where Hannah works. She gets very angry after seeing Michael because she does not want anyone to know about their relationship. After this, Michael comes to Hannah's house and asks her why she ignored him. She tells Michael that we cannot be together in front of everyone, but Michael gets angry and they both argue. But later Michael apologizes to her. Then Hannah forgives him. Then after a few days, Michael asks Hannah to go on a cycling trip, for which she agrees. Michael sells his STEM collection, which gives him some money, so that they can roam around well during the cycling trip. The next day both of them go for a cycling trip for 2 days, and while roaming they stop at many places to eat, and then roam around many places. Then the next day both of them come to a church, but Hannah is sad after coming to the church. Michael does not understand why she is sad, and he himself gets worried. Then they come home after completing the 2-day trip. Due to staying together, both of them started liking each other. There in school, a girl liked Michael, but he liked only Hannah, so he used to ignore her. Meanwhile, Hannah gets promoted in her job, due to which she will have to go to another city. Now Hannah becomes sad thinking this. One day, Michael's school friends have organized a party for him because today is his birthday, but instead of going to the party, he goes to meet Hannah. But Hannah is very sad, and there is an argument between the two over some matter. Later, Michael apologizes to her, and both go to bed. The next day, Hannah leaves the house without telling Michael. When Michael comes to Hannah's house, she is not there and there is no stuff in the house, which makes Michael understand that Hannah has left the house, which breaks Michael's heart and he is now completely alone. After this, the story is shown after a year. This year is 1966. Michael now studies in Heidelberg Law School. Michael always wanted to become a lawyer, for which he is studying law, and he lives in a hostel. One day, Michael's professor takes some students to a special seminar to show real cases and practicals in the court, where the judge takes Hannah's name. Michael is surprised to see Hannah and wonders why a case is going on against him and why he is in jail. Actually, Hannah was arrested during World War II. The camp was run by SS guards of Nazi Germany, where Jewish women were kept as prisoners, and only women were employed as SS guards. Hannah also worked as an SS guard, and many women along with her were accused of leaving 300 Jewish women and children in a burning church. But if she wanted, she could have saved them, but she did not do so. Hannah is the supervisor of the SS guards, so she is questioned. The judge asks Hannah that on whose advice did you join the SS guards, and why did you do it? She says that when I came to know about the SS guards that they are hiring women, then I joined. After this, the hearing of the case was to be held after a few days, so Professor Michael comes to his law school with his colleague. Here Michael does not believe that how can Hannah do this because he had spent a lot of time with her. She was a very good person. Then on the next day of the trial, the judge shows Hannah a book which Ilana had written. She and her mother were survivors of the church incident, and they have filed a case against Hannah and the other guards. On the day of the incident, there were 5 other women with Hannah who were working with her. All of them present in the trial hold Hannah responsible for the incident and have framed her so that they can save themselves. But Hannah was not ready to accept all this. She says that she is innocent. Then Ilana is called. She tells that all these women were on duty that day. Then the judge tells Hannah that you were in charge on the day of the incident and you have written this report. But Hannah denies and says that all the women together wrote it and she was not in charge that day. But the judge says that it has your signature on it. Then she says that her signature is fake. Then the judge tells Hannah that she was in charge on the day of the incident and she has written this report. But Hannah denies and says that all the women together wrote it and she was not in charge that day. But the judge says that it has your signature. Then she says that her signature is fake. Then the judge tells Hannah that she was in charge on the day of the incident. She is asked to sign the paper so that she can match the handwriting, but she is afraid to sign because she does not know how to read and write, so how will she sign, which makes Michael also realize that Hannah is illiterate. So she always asks him to read books to her, and when Hannah got a job in the office as a promotion in the job of a bus conductor, then she refused to work out of shame. Even Hannah's decision to join SS was taken by her under compulsion, where Hannah could not say in front of everyone that she is illiterate, and she takes all the blame on herself out of fear of getting embarrassed. Then the judge asks, why did you not save them on the day of the accident? She says that we were doing what we were ordered to, and if we had let them go out of the church, then they would have run away. Next day, Michael goes to meet Hannah in the jail, where Hannah is waiting for someone to come. Hannah is doing this, but she does not know that Michael is coming to meet her. But Michael does not have the courage to meet Hannah, so he leaves from here without meeting her. In the next trial, Hannah is sentenced to life imprisonment, and the other women are sentenced to a few years in jail. Hearing this, Michael starts crying. Actually, Hannah had joined the SS Guard out of compulsion, and on this day she was on duty with all the women, but due to the fire in the church, they were scared. Hannah wanted to let the captives go from the church, but the other women forbade her from doing so because if the prisoners ran away, then they could be punished, so they did not open the gate on the day of the accident. After a few years, Michael soon graduates from law school and later becomes a successful lawyer, and Michael marries a girl. They also have a daughter, but later Michael gets divorced and he stays away from his daughter. But sometimes he meets his daughter. Here we see Michael, who still has not forgotten Hannah. He remembers her and reads the same book which he had narrated to Hannah for the last time. On the other hand, we see Hannah in jail, who has now become old and her face is burnt and her hair has turned white. Here Michael reads some book and records a tape for Hannah and sends a cassette and tape recorder to Hannah in jail. When Hannah gets the tape recorder and CD, she is unable to understand anything. After this, Hannah puts the CD and starts recording. Then she hears Michael's voice, who has recorded the story for her. Hannah is very happy to hear this, and she becomes emotional after hearing his voice after so many years. Michael used to continuously record and send her CDs, which Hannah used to listen to. After this, Hannah starts reading and writing from books from the jail library. And then Hannah starts writing letters to Michael and waits for Michael's reply, but Michael never writes a letter to her nor comes to meet her, but keeps on sending audio tapes after reading the story. One day, the jail warden calls Michael and tells him that Hannah is getting released on parole. She has been here for more than 20 years. The warden says that Hannah has no home or family, so we called you because Hannah is calling you. She writes a letter. The warden wants him to make arrangements for her accommodation when she comes out, because in this condition it will be very difficult for Hannah to find all this alone. Michael agrees, and he finds an apartment and a job for Hannah. The next day, when Michael goes to meet Hannah after so many years, then Hannah is very happy. He tells Hannah that he has found a job and a house for her. Then Hannah asks Michael if he has decided to get married. He says yes, and he has a daughter too, but unfortunately the marriage did not last long, and they got divorced. Here Michael keeps a distance from Hannah, which Hannah does not like, and she wants to talk about the past, but he says that he will come to take her after a week when she is released from here. After Michael leaves, Hannah commits suicide in the jail because she regrets her actions. Next week, when Michael comes to take Hannah, Vernon tells him that Hannah killed herself on the day he came to meet her. Michael goes to her cell where he finds a note and some money in a box. It is written in the note that Hannah wants that money to be given to Ilana, which is Hannah's savings. Michael starts crying after losing Hannah. After this, Michael goes to meet Ilana and tells her about his and Hannah's relationship. Ilana tells about the relationship, then Michael gives her a box full of money. Ilana refuses to take the money, then Michael suggests that she donate the money to a Jewish organization that teaches adult illiterates. After this, the story is shown a few years later. It is the year 1995 where Michael meets his daughter again. He takes her to a church where Michael and Hannah went many years ago during their bicycle journey. He shows her Hannah's grave and tells his daughter everything about him and Hannah, and with this the movie ends. Friends, if Hannah was educated, would life have been easy for her? By the way, what importance does education hold for you?